back. Joining me now is Senior Fellow at the American Culture Project, Corey DeAngelis. Corey, education and school choice are big issues for Americans, and President-elect Donald Trump has proposed a plan to dismantle the Department of Education and to expand parents' rights, as well as place a greater emphasis on patriotism and what he calls the American way of life, instead of the relentless far-left activism children are exposed to. I'd imagine, Corey, these are popular policies and probably account for some of the support he's been able to win in this election.
Yeah, this is amazing. It's music to my ears. The Department of Education, which we should rename the Department of Indoctrination in the United States, started in 1979. It was a payoff by Jimmy Carter to the teachers unions, who gave him an endorsement that election cycle. And we've spent about $2 trillion since the inception of the department. Spending has gone up. Outcomes haven't gotten any better. We should send the money back to the states. Let the individual states in the U.S. decide how to spend that money. That increases local control, and it reduces the amount of wasteful spending on useless bureaucrats up in Washington, D.C. If you look at the trends over time here in the U.S., since 2000, we have data. Between 2000 and now, student enrollment has only increased by 5%. Teachers have increased by 10%, a little faster. But administrative bloat has increased by 95%. Let's give that money back to the states. Let them decide how to spend that money wisely and improve student outcomes.
Now, Donald Trump has also talked about that indoctrination you've mentioned, and he wants school diversity initiatives to go, things like critical race theory, gender ideology, any sort of inappropriate racial, sexual or political content in the classroom he wants to have removed, to have the federal funding cut for that. That's got to be music to your ears.
That's right. Exactly. The schools are focused too much on the LBGTs as opposed to the ABCs. We need to focus on the basics, math, reading, and writing. Then when we spend more money, maybe we'll actually get an improved outcome. We haven't seen that over time. And it's because the schools have activists inside them that would rather focus on controlling the minds of other people's children and shaping them towards a socialist worldview, as opposed to improving the educated citizenry in our country. So that's great news. And look, he's also talking about school choice as well, which would empower parents to choose for their own kids.
Well, yeah, talk to me about that. He backs a nationwide universal school choice program. What would that mean for parents and students?
Yeah, in the U.S. currently, it's ridiculous. You live where you live and you're assigned to a school based on your address. It makes no sense. It creates enormous monopoly power. It gives the teachers unions total control, because if you don't like it, you can't go anywhere else. You're stuck. You're trapped. Parents have no say in the current system. But in states like Florida, they've started to figure out that if you let the money follow the child, that creates more competition. The public schools get better in response to that competition, and parents have a say in their own kids' education by choosing a school that aligns with their values. Trump has already said he would sign something called the Educational Choice for Children Act. This would be done at a nationwide level. It's already passed out of House committee. The Speaker in the U.S., Mike Johnson, supports the initiative. Trump again said he would sign it. And now the Republicans have control over the Senate, and it's looking like we're going to keep control in the House. So there's a trifecta making its way to the U.S. Republicans should pass their own party platform, issue a school choice, get it to Donald Trump's desk immediately. This will stop the leftward drift in America, because it starts in the classroom. When you can tell young kids that big government is the solution to all of your problems, they're going to go vote for big government in the future. But if we have school choice, you strike at the root. You let families choose. They're not going to choose left-wing indoctrination. They're going to choose the basics. And when people can think rationally, they're going to realize that government isn't the solution. Having families, the families are the best form of governments that there are.